up, everybody, and welcome to SANDCAST U. My name is Madison Fitzpatrick, and I'm your host. And if you're wondering why I'm so joyous and annoyingly excited, it's because Collegiate Beach Volleyball season is upon us, and last weekend was opening weekend. We saw some really close matchups, we saw some upsets, and one of the purposes of SANDCAST U is to keep you up to date as we get closer to national championships, so that's what I'm here to do. Here's an update on opening weekend. In my opinion, and I think objectively, the toughest tournament to play in for opening weekend was the tournament in Hawaii. We saw UCLA, USC, TCU, Stanford, a lot of the really talented and highly ranked teams went there. So that was the strongest tournament to start the season. At that tournament, UCLA was crowned the champion. UCLA went 5-1. Let's talk about who they took down. They took down TCU. Sally Perez and Maggie Boyd at the ones defeated Tanya Moreno and Daniela Alvarez in the third set, 15-13. A lot of those courts went to 3 sets, so it was tight, but UCLA came down with the win 4-1. UCLA also defeated Arizona State, Hawaii in a sweep, number 5 Stanford 3-2, and LMU 3-2. Their one loss? USC. But here's the thing. The UCLA-USC rivalry is the most iconic, the most well-known, famous, infamous, whatever words you want to throw onto it, rivalry in collegiate beach volleyball. And every time they play each other, they kind of trade back and forth wins and losses. And I say that so confidently because usually throughout the seasons, you're going to see them trading back and forth. It's pretty historic that they're going to go back and forth. It's going to be really tight. And whoever wins at the beginning of the season might not be the one that wins at the end of the season. So that's a fun rivalry that you're going to obviously want to make sure to watch. Next team I want to talk about at the Hawaii tournament was LMU. Okay, LMU. LMU went 5-1 at the strongest and toughest tournament to start the season. They took down number 5 Stanford. That's a really good win for them. Number 1 USC 4-1, Hawaii in a sweep, number 2 TCU 3-2, and Arizona State 3-2. Their only loss was to UCLA, and 3 of the 5 courts went to 3 sets. LMU had 5 top 12 wins. So this could be deemed the best start in LMU history. I would not be surprised if this is their strongest start. 5 top 12 wins. They're kind of the biggest surprise to start the season, but not in a, oh wow, I'm shocked. More so in a, okay, LMU, I see you. Todd Rogers, what I said about him with Cal Poly, how he gets 200% out of all of his athletes, John Mayer gets 200% out of all of his LMU athletes. So congratulations, LMU, on a really strong start to the season. They were my biggest surprise to start the season. Next up, let's talk about USC. They had a few losses, but on Saturday, they had a really good showing. They took down Hawaii 3-2. It went to 5. Arizona State in a sweep. And on Saturday, they beat UCLA number 3 and TCU number 2. Both of those went 3 courts got a win and 2 courts got a loss, so very close. They lost to LMU 1-4. The only team to win for USC there was Ella Larkin and Madison Gellner, and they lost to Stanford 3-2. That one was close. TCU, they went 3-3. They took down Stanford, ASU, and Hawaii, but they lost to UCLA 1-4, LMU 2-3, and USC 2-3. Like I said, there were so many tight matches in opening weekend. That tension, that kind of parity is only going to build as we get closer to national championships. Now let's talk about FSU. FSU was not at the Hawaii tournament. So to recap, UCLA was crowned the champions of the Hawaii tournament in Honolulu. FSU played in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and they went 5-0. In the season opener, 5 freshmen played in the starting lineup. That is very rare for Florida State. Usually Florida State brings in transfers. They've got at least a couple seniors or grad students. When I was there, it was a bunch of grad students playing in the lineup. Well, FSU had 5 freshmen. Some of the freshmen were redshirt, and the freshmen are very talented. They went 5-0 in opening weekend. Their toughest challenge, they played LSU. LSU took the wins on court 3 and 4, but Florida State won on 1, 2, and 5. Alexis Jurish and Audrey Koenig led the way. You guys are going to be hearing their names a lot throughout the season. They were deemed CCSA Pair of the Week for the opening week of the season. The last team I want to talk about is Texas. Texas went undefeated, taking wins against McNeese, UCA, Sam Houston, UTEP, and Houston Christian. All sweeps the whole time, except for the very end. the last game, and they only fell on one court. So yes, they defeated smaller schools and it wasn't as big of wins, but being such a new program and being such a newly formed team, every single win counts. Every single win matters for a resume builder for recruiting, confidence for the team, and for making their case to make it to Gulf Shores for the very first time. So keep Texas on your radar. So that was just a little brief update on the opening weekend of Collegiate Beach Volleyball season. I do want to remind you guys that how the season starts, of course, is not how the season ends, because in beach volleyball, it's so cool. We're going to see lineup shifts. We're going to see girls who are playing on court 1 get moved down to court 3 and so on and so forth. And the matchups are going to be different. The pressure is that much more because of the condensed schedule for Collegiate Beach Volleyball. So I am very excited. I will be keeping you up to date. But so far, I give the opening of NCAA Beach Volleyball season a 10 out of 10. And I can't wait to see you next time on SANDCAST U.